Here are 10 signs that you could have undiagnosed AuDHD. This is not medical advice, and it's important to note that every human will probably experience these signs at some point in their life, but it's about how often you experience them and to what intensity you experience them. Sign number 1, you plan conversations in your head and you just assume that everyone does this. Sometimes those conversations, if, for example, you're planning a conversation to have with someone who maybe you've had disagreements with in the past, those conversations can turn to arguments in your head and you end up feeling really angry and frustrated, and the whole conversation hasn't even happened. You end up having an argument technically with yourself in your head. That is a common thing called scripting. I did this for years and I just thought everyone did it. And it happens more when I'm in the shower for some reason. I'm not sure why, but that is reason number 1. Number 2 is eye contact feels unnatural. And it's not just about when you're looking at someone, you might feel, oh, that was intense for a second. You're constantly aware of the eye contact. You are wondering, am I giving too much eye contact? Am I giving not enough? You feel uncomfortable about the whole thing. And it's like a conscious thought, ongoing thought in your head. You are thinking about eye contact. And it took me a while to realise that, again, not everybody does this. A lot of neurotypical people are able to just have a conversation without thinking about the eye contact. So this is a sign that eye contact doesn't come naturally to you. Number 3, it feels like you constantly have a million things going on in your head and your brain won't ever switch off. It's like a constant internal monologue. It could be lines from songs. It could be your brain repeating something that you've just heard, or all the things you need to do, and it's constant and it doesn't ever go away. That is quite a neurodivergent thing. When I have spoken to people in the past who do not experience this, I can't imagine what that feels like to not experience this. And it does make me think, wow, that must be so peaceful to be able to actually switch your brain off, because mine never switches off. Number 4, you crave routine and structure, but your life feels chaotic. You want to have a tidy house, you want everything to be organised, but you might struggle with tidying. You might struggle with messing your house or creating piles of things that you need to put away. You might notice that there is maybe 1 or 2 areas of your life where you feel like you've got it together, but then the rest of your life is chaos. This is quite a common thing for AuDHD because our brains are being pulled from one direction to the other. Number 5, you crave connection, but you love being alone. This can be a really difficult one because sometimes we end up feeling lonely, but then the people that we would get on the best with also feel like us, so they are also probably in their house as well. That's what makes it really difficult. We love our alone time. We love being able to breathe, to process our emotions and spend that time focusing on things that we want to do or feel like we need to do, but we also crave that connection as well, and that can feel really difficult. Number 6, you have an addictive personality. It could be that you are physically struggling with an addiction currently, to alcohol, to drugs, to something else. And it could be that you just, maybe it's shopping. It's just like you get addicted to things. It could be a certain meal, a particular meal. I do that too. But it's quite a common thing for neurodivergent people to become addicted. It's a way of regulating our emotions, but it's also due to being misunderstood. I myself in the past have struggled with alcohol addiction. I no longer drink. I am completely sober now, but it is a very common occurrence. So it might be to you something that you haven't recognised, but when you think about it, actually, yeah, I am constantly doing this one particular thing, and it does feel like it's hard to stop doing that thing. Number 7, you hold parts of yourself back around certain people. and you feel like you can't be yourself around them. There may be only certain people where you can be absolutely yourself, but there are a lot of people where you feel like you have to be someone else or you have to hold yourself back. This is otherwise known as masking, but it can feel really, really uncomfortable. It also leads to you almost wondering, who am I as a person? And it is a common occurrence with ADHD and autism. Number 8, you are a people pleaser, or you have been a people pleaser. For us with ADHD or ADHD or autism, we often spend our life being judged by other people. So we adapt ourselves to please other people so we don't get judged. And it's very common for us to end up being people pleasers and to not set boundaries. That is something I experienced for most of my life. I am now able to set boundaries. There's still a little tiny part of me that's a people pleaser, but most of it I have been able to work through, and most of the time now I can be assertive and I can set boundaries, but that took a lot of work to get to that point. But it is quite a common thing to be a people pleaser. Number 9, you can get so focused and so interested in something that you lose track of time, of everything. You may be so into something that you forget to eat, that you forget to go to the toilet, and then when you stand up you realise you desperately need to go to the toilet, and it feels like you're losing track of time because you're so ingrained in something. Maybe you are researching something that's interesting or doing something that you really enjoy, but you just lose track of everything. And this is like hyper focus. It can almost make 10 minutes, it can make 3 hours feel like 10 minutes if you're so into something that you just lose track of everything else. It's like the senses in your body disappear almost. And it can actually be a real positive at times. If you really need to get on with something that you're enjoying or you're in the zone, it's an amazing thing. But you have to remember as well, you've got to listen to your body. You've got to, if you need a drink, get a drink. If you need to eat, eat. If you need to go to the toilet, go to the toilet. Because we often lose sense of those bodily needs while we're in this hyperfocus. Number 10, you struggle with time. And that might be you struggle with being late all the time. It might be you struggle to process time, or you've got this urgent need to be always early. It's like, in the same way that eye contact doesn't come naturally, time is a constant thing in your head. You feel you've got an issue with time, whether it be one way or the other. For me personally, I cannot process time. So, for example, 10 minutes can feel like an hour, or vice versa. An hour or 2 hours may have passed and it can feel like 20 minutes. So I can't tell how much time has passed. As a result of that, I've spent a lot of my time being late, and it's not out of disrespect to anyone else. It's because I have genuinely thought, right, okay, I just need to do this really quickly. Something that is important for what I'm about to do, but it takes me longer than I think it takes. So I think it's going to take 1 minute and it actually takes 5 minutes. I have spent a lot of my time being late, a lot of my life being late, sorry. But there are other times when I feel so anxious that I'm extremely early, like too early, and I have to wait around for ages. So time has always been an issue for me. If you found this video valuable, please like and subscribe and check out my other videos. Like I said, it's not medical advice, but these could be indicators that you could have undiagnosed ADHD. It is always best to speak to a medical professional and do your own research into things. Don't just take my word for it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.